Some crimes are evil, some are insane. And then there are crimes so bizarre they feel like urban legends until you realize they actually happened. From a man who turned a corpse into his girlfriend, to a bear who overdosed on cocaine, these are 10 true crime stories that will make you question reality and maybe your search history. Let's start with The Corpse Bride, Carl Tanzler. Imagine loving someone so much you dig up their body, bring it home, and dress it in a wedding gown. Carl Tanzler, a radiologist in 1930s Florida, was obsessed with a young tuberculosis patient named Elena Hoyos. When she died, he visited her grave nightly. Until one night, he just took her. He reconstructed her decaying corpse using wires, silk, and wax, even added glass eyes. He lived with her body for 7 years until her sister found out. And the worst part? Locals were weirdly sympathetic, calling it romantic. Next, we have the lead masks mystery. In Brazil, 1966, 2 men were found dead on a hill. Both were wearing lead eye masks, like budget sci-fi props. Next to them, a bottle of water, 2 towels, a notebook that read, "Be at the place at 16:30, take capsules. After the effect, protect metals, wait for signal. No trauma, no poison, no logical explanation." Some say it was a ritual experiment, others, a botched UFO contact attempt. Either way, their last signal never came. Next on our bizarre list is the disappearing poisoner, Audrey Marie Hilley. This woman didn't just fake her death, she faked a new life too. Audrey Marie Hilley was a Southern belle with a dark hobby, poisoning relatives. When suspicion crept in, she faked her own death, vanished, and reemerged under a new name, marrying a man she met at a Bible study. Years later, she was arrested after she tried to poison her own daughter. In the end, she died during a prison furlough, once again running from the truth. Coming in at number 4 on our list is the toy box killer. Yeah, let's just say hell had a workshop and it was parked in New Mexico. David Parker Ray turned a soundproof trailer into a torture chamber. He called it the toy box. Inside, gynecological tables, chains, whips, and a tape recorder. Victims would wake up strapped down, forced to listen to his pre-recorded monologue describing what he planned to do to them. Some survived, many didn't. The FBI called it one of the most disturbing cases they'd ever seen. But here's the kicker. He was never convicted of murder, only kidnapping. At the halfway point is the case of the severed feet. Starting in 2007, human feet began washing ashore along the coasts of British Columbia and Washington state. Just the feet, still in sneakers. Over 20 were found, no torsos, no heads, just floating Nikes and a whole lot of questions. Forensics linked many to known missing persons. But how do so many people lose only their feet? Best theory? Decomposition plus buoyancy equals shoes floating. Still, it's hard not to picture some one-footed serial killer hopping around out there. Next up is the Icebox killer, Charles Frederick Rogers. In 1965, Houston police entered a quiet home to find 2 torsos in the fridge, heads in the vegetable drawer, limbs stacked like leftovers. The prime suspect? Their reclusive son, Charles Rogers, who vanished that day and was never seen again. Some say he was a CIA hitman. Others claim he fled to Honduras and lived out his days farming bananas. To this day, the fridge was found. But Charles? Still chilling. Somewhere. Number 7 is the cocaine bear. In 1985, a drug smuggler bails out of a plane over Georgia, dumps duffel bags of pure cocaine in the woods. Enter a black bear who finds 70 pounds of it and does what bears do best. Eats. The bear died instantly. Heart failure. Surprise, surprise, but it didn't end there. Locals stuffed the bear, named it Pablo Escobear, and put it in a mall display case. You can still visit him. Number 8 on the list gives serial killer victims hope all across the world, the girl who outsmarted a serial killer. At 17, Lisa McVey was abducted, blindfolded, and assaulted by serial killer Bobby Joe Long. But this girl had survivor instincts. She memorized his car, counted the turns he took, noted his cologne, and left fingerprints everywhere. She escaped barely and gave police everything they needed. He was arrested, but instead of getting therapy, she became a cop, and now teaches classes on survival and awareness. Next up is the $1 bank robber who wanted health care. In 2010, James Verone walked into a bank in North Carolina, handed the teller a note, demanded exactly $1, then sat in the lobby waiting for the cops. He wasn't broke. He wasn't even mad. He just needed medical care and thought prison was the only way to get it. In a country where insulin can cost more than your rent? He wasn't wrong. Last but not least is the Dyatlov Pass incident. I know this isn't your typical true crime case, but it's one of the creepiest unsolved deaths in modern history on a remote Siberian mountain. In 1959, 9 hikers lost their lives. Their tent was found ripped open from the inside. Some bodies were barefoot in sub-zero temps. Others had crushed skulls, missing eyes, or tongues. Oh, and traces of radiation. No clear cause, no signs of foul play, just whispers of military experiments, Yeti attacks, and infrasound panic. To this day, Russia calls it an accident. Sure, these aren't stories from horror movies. They're from court documents, police reports, autopsy files, which begs the question, are we living in a world of logic or just one big unsolved case?